Good morning, 10th grade. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to World Studies. Another great day in Bemidji. Beautiful up north woods. It's a Tuesday morning. Got my flannel on. We're ready for a good day. Alright, so I'd like everyone to quickly grab their attention and draw it forward to the front of our classroom. And I've got a few items up here, and I'm going to be showing those to those of you that are in the back, and we'll work with these items, at least in a context sense as we move forward. So, you guys, what I've got up here are a couple of pairs of shoes, albeit not the best shoes, not the nicest shoes, but mine. And what else I have up here is a few items of clothing, okay, for those of you in the back, right? And you're probably sitting there thinking like, oh, cool, Mr. Elliott, thanks for showing us your laundry. We know what you're doing in the next couple of days. That's not the intent of why I have the clothing items up here. Let's go ahead and draw upon what we discussed yesterday, and let's revisit our key vocabulary word for that day. Can anyone remember what we talked about yesterday? If you can't remember the word, maybe you remember the definition, or you can't remember the definition but you have the word. Let's hear it. Anybody? Oh, good. Elizabeth, what do you got? Nice. She remembered the word. The word was ghetto. And can anyone share with me maybe that definition? And even if it's not the exact one we had for class, we're going to review it. But I'd just like to know if anyone could maybe sum up what we talked about yesterday in the definition that we're going to be using for our learning. Yeah, Kevin. Awesome. Yep, you nailed it. Nice. Very good. So what Kevin said, in case you couldn't hear him, is that a ghetto is a place where people are put in isolation, which is a great example of something we discussed yesterday. I'm going to expand on his definition and work with the one we used from class yesterday. So if you didn't get this down yesterday, or you're like, Mr. Elliott, this is new to me, this is a refresher, I was totally not hip with it now when you gave it to me the first time, here it is coming at you again. This is going to be key for our unit, and absolutely yesterday and today it's key. So the term ghetto, and I'll show the front row here. I've got it on the smartboard and back, and you also have it in your vocab packets that you should have out. So the definition of ghetto is, as we define it as our class, is put in, restrict to an isolated area, and segregated by group. And as Kevin hit it on the head, it's that isolationism. It's that segregation. It's pulling people apart from a community based upon an ideology or group and placing them in a separate, segregated area. So that's what we've got for ghetto. Now, you may be wondering, all right, you brought out the laundry, you've got ghetto going as far as definition. Mr. Eller, tie this in for me, okay? I'd like you to quickly do that. I want you to pair with the partner next to you, and I want you to talk about where we're going to be going with our learning, and I'm going to put the learning objectives up on the smartboard while you guys talk. All right, so students are talking. Okay, great, guys. I heard a lot of nice conversations, some good dialogue there. I'm going to put up our learning objectives for today, and then we'll talk about what you just you guys shared in your pairs. So our learning objectives for today, I'll put them on the smartboard first. They're also on the side of the classroom on either end, and they should be in the back for those of you who don't have primetime real estate up front next to me. So our learning targets for today, this is I can language for you as a student. I will read it as if I were you. I will be able to demonstrate the initial steps the Nazi Party took to eliminate the Jewish people. That's goal number 1. And goal number 2, I can define 5 vocabulary words from our unit. We're going to add our 5th vocab word now. So I'd like you to turn to the page 3 in your vocab packets. Should be right behind your maps. Perfect. And we're going to define liquidate. Okay? Now we've seen this on our packet. Maybe some of you have heard this verbiage in your English class. But I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the smartboard, and then I'll read it aloud to you guys. This will also be available throughout class. I'm going to put it up on the sideboards too. So guys, our definition of liquidate would be to eliminate, typically by violent means, or to kill. Can anyone share with me how we're going to tie that into our learning and the items maybe that I have placed up here at the classroom and what you guys shared as a group? Or as pairs, excuse me. Oh, Demarian, good. I'm glad you had your hand up. What can you bring forth here? Awesome. Yep, and you nailed it on the head, buddy. What we're talking about is the Nazi Party is going to come into these ghetto spaces, which were already really bad, had really bad living conditions, and they're literally going to just pull the people out from the current living space they're in, put them in cattle cars, and take them off to a place that only the Nazi Party knows, and some people don't even know they exist, the places. And what they did, as Demarian was saying, is they took the items, they took everything out of those little apartments and tiny holes they had people cramped in. They just ripped all their stuff out. And you'll see on Schindler's List that we're going to watch here, a little clip about the liquidation. You'll just see them dumping valuables off the edge. Clothing. I mean, things we take for granted in the Western world for the most part, just thrown over the side. And it's all these people had. Even things like this, my wedding ring, this would not go in a clothing pile. This would most likely, I mean, it'd definitely be confiscated, but it most likely would never see a pile. It would find a pocket, and whoever found my wedding ring on me would essentially own that item because they'd just rip it and take it away from me. So that's what we're going to be diving into, you guys. Some very heavy stuff. I'm glad we left like everything at the door as far as frustrations and feelings of things that are not social studies related, and we're just ready here to learn and to really expand our knowledge on our Holocaust unit, which is, I know, a lengthy one and heavy, but we'll get through it together, and let's go and move on through our learning.